What's going on, y'all? I'm pretty sure y'all have heard about this story. And I just wanted to, put my little 2 cents in on it. And for those of you who follow me, I gotta make this about race. I don't even know what race the girl is. Matter of fact, let me look that up right. Okay, I can't find a picture on her, but just assuming, assume, that this girl was white. And, well, let me start over. Let's just say this situation was different. And this was a black girl who was stealing a pair of shoes, and a white officer showed up. Somebody wouldn't have got their daughter back. Now, being that this is a black police officer, and let's also presume that the girl is still white. Look at how black officers would treat white civilians. You see, when it comes to black officers and white civilians, we never really hear stories or cases where a black officer would kill a child. Now, down here in Louisiana, we had the first one in modern media history, where 2 black officers killed a 6-year-old white boy, autistic white boy at that. And the media painted them as monsters. The media called them monsters for doing what they say is doing their job. You see, if this was an incident where it was a black officer and a white girl, I take that back. If it was the white officer and a black girl, the black girl would be dead. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. We have seen it too many times. I believe the young sister's name was Ayanna Jones. Yeah, the little sister Ayanna Jones, who was killed, I believe, while she was asleep, shot in the head. Tamir Rice, just playing with a toy gun like any other kid would do, shot dead. Right on the scene. No questions. No convictions. You see, but when it whenever it boils down to a white child and a black officer, that white child is most definitely going to walk out of that situation alive. Now, if it is a black police officer and a black civilian, the hair is split. We really don't know how that situation would turn out. And it's ultimately depending on the mindset of the black officer. If this is an officer who is a um, I don't want to just say a Tom Coon or a sellout, but one of those black persons who just thinks himself above his own people, which will ultimately be a sellout, but we wouldn't know until the incident actually goes down. But say this is one of those situations where it's one of those type of black people, black officers and a black civilian. That black person just might end up dead. He just might. Because this black officer wants to look good in front of his white police officer peers. But then again, maybe he won't. Maybe that black civilian won't get killed by the black officer. Maybe that black officer will want to push his weight and his position onto that black civilian, letting that black civilian know, I could have taken your life, but I let you live. But behind $2 shoes, it's really not, but a lot of them do that behind the smallest of things, but if it's a black officer who not necessarily, loves his own, but just has a good sense of moral values, not necessarily a Christian or religious person, but just, has a heart for people, someone who loves life, that then, most definitely that situation is going to be a learning experience for the person, for the black, civilian, in a situation like this or something like this, you see. But this, this is really a beautiful story, man. I don't know what race the child was, but it's not about the race. This is when we talk about good cops versus bad cops. You see, it says in an article that I read that, he didn't even want to be acknowledged for what he did. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if any of you have seen Murder Chose Me, but that is about a detective right here from Shreveport who who solved murder cases, and he had found himself in a few positions where, he helped out a lot of the families that were in need. So seeing police jump rope, play basketball, do the Dougie, and all this other shit that they do, that's cool for video likes and views, and that's good for that. But that's not really helping those people in those communities in which you chose to partake, in that type of activity. It doesn't mean shit to the black community if, you jump rope with us this week, but next week you shooting us down. You know what I'm saying? And just a few of you really don't speak for the entire police department of wherever you at. Because there are police, around the country that are doing these type of things where they want to dab, and they want a Dougie, and they want to play basketball, and they want to jump rope, and they want to do all these other things in front of the cameras, but really behind closed doors, we don't know what you are. We don't know what you're like. We don't even know. Matter of fact, what's the purpose of doing that shit if you're not speaking out against your own? If you're not speaking out against your own so-called fraternity brothers about the evil that they're doing in our community, dirty cops on the low selling drugs, you know what's going on, but you're not doing shit about it. What's the purpose of jump roping? Your job description, I don't know if this is job description or not, but this is what we've been hearing for years, is to protect and serve. Now, if it's a matter of protecting and serving the people, part of that is to sacrifice your life for the greater good. That's what a police is supposed to do. That's what a soldier is supposed to do. That is what a fireman is supposed to do. Anybody who is in a profession like yours, where your life is at risk, that is part of your job description, is to put your life at risk. Either when your life is at risk, be willing to sacrifice it, or to put it in risk forcefully in order to achieve some greater good. See, this is why I say that, now the cops here in Shreveport, we don't get any static from our police officers. Not like other cities around the country do. And I'm not saying that every other city does. All I'm saying is that, here in Shreveport, we not seeing what many other cities are seeing from their police officers. But this is why I say there are no good police officers. Because when it comes to my life and your life, you're going to choose your life. How do we know? Because every single officer that is put on the stand says, for doing their job, they say, well, I was afraid. He had a gun. I didn't know what he had, and I had to protect myself. When the hell did police have to start protecting themselves over protecting the lives of the people? Because even the suspect that you just killed, that you just murdered, is still a civilian. That person who you just killed and murdered still has to be protected and served as well. Protect their life so that you can serve them up to the courts. But there are no good police officers. None. Now, you may have police that do. Now this right here is the example of a good police. This is the perfect example of a good police, and all of those who pitched in and helped him, help these kids. You see what I'm saying? If this child was black, this is one of the first times that I've heard of where a black child who committed a crime actually gets off by being helped. But if this is a white child, you see the privilege? The privilege is right there. If the child is white. Because this wouldn't be the first time where a white child committed a crime and was rewarded for the crime that they committed. You see what I'm saying? So this entire story really hangs on the identity of the child that they helped. So, like I said, if you know the identity of the child, if the child was white, if the child was black, if the child was Mexican, okay, if that child was the white-skinned version of any indigenous peoples, if that child is the white-skinned version of any indigenous peoples, that is white privilege. Whether it was a white Mexican, a white Puerto Rican, a white Jew, a white China, a white Jap, you know what I'm saying? That's white privilege. Because if that was a black child, based on what we have seen throughout the years, if that was a black child, that child probably would be dead. I don't even think that the child would probably muster up enough courage to even talk to the police to tell them what the problem was. The child be so afraid, acting out of fear, that he would have gotten shot on the scene. But what was done was still great, to help someone in need. And this is the perfect example of protecting and serving. This is the perfect example of what it means to protect and serve. You protected the life of this child, and not only did you protect the life of this child, you served them by giving them things that they needed, in their time of need. You see, but let me know what you guys think down in the comment sections. If you know any other details in this story that I probably left out, or that the media probably doesn't have, put down in the comment sections, man. And we're gonna talk about it. Other than that, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.